FNB presents. There's our meme music. Sweet World by Firstnamebutt. You test this one? Oh, nice. And elevator music from Jurassic Park. Welcome to Sweet World. Have fun on your own Kaizo journey. You must yell Borb every time you encounter when you collect the orb. Noted. What's with the transparent, not quite Yoshi, not quite bird? By the way, can you load something else? Check the first levels. Sure. When did something else come out? Like, I thought this was a while ago. Oh, spin jumps. So far, I'm understanding what it wants of me. I'm gonna guess this really is just an introduction to how all of the blocks that we'll be seeing. Whoops. The rest of it goes. Bird, Yesy, Borber is king. I like it. 14? Okay. Interesting. Are you doing like a remaster or something? You think that there's something specific on console it's not going to work? Because for 14, like, the level of tech was low enough that I'd expect stuff to just mostly work unless you're Wakana. But then again, it's Yogui, so... What am I doing? That's an easy jump. Hold back at the wrong time. I do love the stationary bats. So much better than just putting a Koopa on a 1F0. Or whatever it is that keeps them completely stationary forever. Oop. Slow and steady. Broken sprites still exist in this price engine today. Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I was right by the midway, too. I skipped one. Oh, I wonder if you do a really well-clipped jump, if you could just skip that bit right there entirely. Ah, one shot. Moons are required. Orb. One of those things just takes a little bit of time to get back into the Kaizo mode of thinking. Anyway, remind me if you're around when the end of stream is, and if you're not, poke me on Discord to try out loading the first level of something else, in case I forget. Is the bird, like, Firstnamebutt's, I don't know, like, what's the word I'm looking for, mascot or something? I think... Oh, I wasn't too late. They want their funny video back? Oh, come on. Nice to go back and appreciate things sometimes. Was it respect the classics? Hey, I made that. Ever play a game called... Would I play a game called Toad's Alimony? I hadn't thought about it before now, but I guess. I have no real compulsion against it. I played Yoshi's Tax Evasion. Yoshi loves to avoid taxes. Dang it. It's similar. I mean, would it be a quest for Toad to stop paying alimony? Or a quest to, like, acquire money so Toad can pay alimony? Or would it just... Deadline is upon you? What? Oh, for Hack Jam? Or doing other stuff? Taxes? Oh. Oh, until the deadline. Gotcha, yes. I mean, sometimes it's in your best interest to pay your taxes early because then you get your money back early and you're making interest off of it instead of the Fed. Doesn't make anyone want to do taxes more often, but you know. What am I doing? But anyway, Hate paperwork? Fair. No one likes collecting all the documents and to do their taxes, especially people who got fancy, complicated taxes. Quest to live the depressing it's after playing Halloween. It's a quest to take Toad to the liquor store so he can buy a 5th of vodka. When he gets there, he realizes his account is already overdrawn. He can't afford even Rotgut vodka. So he goes to the back alley to try and find cans to recycle. Part of the endless spiral down that Toad is having after 50-odd years of marriage. Because Toads live a long time. Toads are like elves. They live forever. You know, unless they get, like, eaten by Mario or something. Well, look, I did the part right. Where did all this lore come from? I just made it up. I mean, basically, Toad's Alimony could just be a story about, like, what's his name? Van Houten. Whatever Milhouse's dad's name is from The Simpsons. Just take any of that and go with it. Do you sleep in a race car? No, I sleep in a big bed with my wife. Aww. Oh, actually, I think you'd like this one. We're doing something stupid for D&D. We had this problem where, for some reason, half of the party was very attached to this idea of creating Wile E. Coyote-like ways of trying to prevent these golems from getting us. Long story short, we had to have a horse roll a stealth check. This was one of the better ideas, sadly. Can I save this? Yes, yes I can. You know, it's free. I should just leave it. The worst part is, the reason we did this and attracted the golem's attention in the first place was because we wanted to get some, like, sweet loot from this abandoned city. We did not get anything resembling sweet loot. We ended up with a few +1 crossbow bolts and a bag of, like, sneezing powder. Which, bizarrely, we'd had before. We had bought, or found, some unlabeled, oh dang it, powder. And someone tried to use it in combat, and then the DM's like, wait, which one of those did you have? And we're like, I don't know, we had 2 of them, right? He's like, well, do you know when you got that one? We had spent some time debating, and eventually, I think we flipped a coin or something, decide which one it was. It was actually what he wanted. The downside, of course, is that the thing, it was supposed to render everyone invisible. It rendered everyone invisible, which didn't matter because we were fighting like lycanthropes or something that could actually see infrared. And so it was completely and utterly pointless. It was a terrible decision. It made the combat worse for everybody else who didn't have the ability to see an infrared. One of your favorite quotes. You can kind of stingy with your players. I mean, you want magic items, they can be like really game-changing if you get a really good one. And we've certainly had stuff in 4E where, like, there was definitely stuff that was broken. 4E had this idea of, like, destiny weapons or something. I forget what the exact name was, but, like, artifacts that were supposed to kind of come and go. Like, you get a talking sword, but eventually you outgrow your talking sword because, I don't know, you just do. In this case, it was the Seed of Winter, and the Snyder's character held on to it for far, far too long, to the point it was actually causing him problems. Which I guess was actually a good theme for his characters for a while. I forgot about the chair. There was a chair that had some sort of, like, really good effect if you slept in it, but it slowly did something to you. I forget how it worked. It was supposed to be like a one-time use thing, and he ended up hauling that thing for the better part of the adventure, if I recall. And when my friend went and got a, like, commemorative piece of art for the end of that campaign made, that chair was featured very prominently. I shouldn't have. Dang it. I'm not ready for that. Race car bed route. Let someone get a wand of magic missiles crafted at level like 5. That was before you found out the wand is often as a machine gun. Well, that's the thing, is you end up with giving it like a weird downside. I don't know, like make it shoot the wrong direction periodically. Make it so you can't actually use it the way you want to use it. Give it a funny side effect. All I'm saying. Should have, but way too late. Ah, yeah, fair. Just make things immune to magic missile. Like, I encountered a thing that was immune to magic missile in Baldur's Gate 2. Unless you curse them. I mean, they can always, like, lose it fording a river or something. That happens all the time. Just the nature of fording rivers. You can't afford to loot stuff. You should not be affording rivers. Hey, look, a new part of the level. Oh, look, the end of the level. Gonna get the moon, though. Orb. Be so mad if they lost it underwater. Have one enemy that ricochets magic missiles. I like it. They go into an underwater cave and you destroy some of their books. I mean, they're books! That's how it works! You can't take books into an underwater cave. That's nonsense. Thank you for the bee. Swish mitten. Swish. Having fun yet? So, like, Yoshi is our narrator fella? Okay. Oh. Ow. I didn't know what those did! I wasn't ready. Ow. It's been a while since I've jumped on a falling Koopa like this for Kaizo purposes. Might have been when I did that chat hacks and played some Quickie World while I was waiting. Because it was for a marathon. It felt appropriate. Okay. I know what that does now. There we go. Never trust pinkies. Ow. Do I need the shell? Should I have the shell? Old B. Okay. I definitely needed the shell. One of the classic Kaizo questions. Do I need the shell? I guess I do. I one-shot that. Well, more or less. I made one mistake. Orb. I do love that sound. Waning seasons. Better not be what I think it is. Oh. Thank you for the bees. Advanced tip. Watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This bit keeps trying to convince me to do that. I am taking way too long there. Still taking too long there. Ah, nope. Sad dance. Ow. There we go. No, I needed both of them. Yeah, this is Too chill for a Kaizo level in my mind. I didn't know what to do. Can I just jump off one? Yeah, I can just jump off one. That is way easier. Way easier than the intended solution. Right, there's no track for that. Time to make tea. Alright, enjoy the tea making. As I forget what I'm doing entirely. Kind of surprised that Firstnamebutt bothered to use the, like, autumn leaves things here. It's a nice little graphical touch. Remember, this is gonna go. There we go. That is not a Yoshi. I was hoping it was a Yoshi. I like Yoshis. It's like whenever they use the, that one track from the, Ace Attorney series, like the smell of a dark coffee or whatever it is. I completely and utterly bullshitted all that, and it worked. Got the moon, though. Borb. Alright. Waning Seasons. Ghastly GASM. Oh, well, know where that goes. Did I hit? Is that what happened there? So when I throw the object, I end up going up against it, which kills my momentum. So I need to be on top of the Koopa first before I do this, I think. This feels weird. Because I don't really throw things while spinning all that often. And of course, the eternal thing that should be called regrab, but isn't for some reason. Where you regrab an object between... before you let go. Maybe... do it on second bounce instead, maybe? Okay, that felt silly. There we go. Oh, no! I didn't know what was coming next, so... I couldn't prepare in advance. Nope, I need to go further over. That bat sprite doesn't look right to me. Okay, sometimes when you kick it... Oh, wait. I wonder if it has to do with the direction you're theoretically facing. But maybe I'm just getting a little bit of ill luck. I need to do a regular jump off the first one. Oh, thanks for the good luck. How you doing, Lizard? Yeah, I saw Memory Lane playing this and figured, you know what? I haven't done any Kaizo. I've not played a Kaizo hack in a while. I tried to play Moo World a few moons ago, but it's an older experience, Moo World. Just got done. Nice. Playing anything fun? It was good. It is good. It's good. It's reminiscent of a different time. I only have one complaint about Moo World, and that's the bubble room with the ghosts. That part is just kind of an awful feeling. Ah. Finished playtesting. Tried that SRE X Kaizo race hack. SRE X. What? You're not talking about the GDQ ones, were you? This must be a different thing. I'm not familiar. Alright, nope, definitely not familiar. Is that like the German speedrunning people? Or the German Kaizo whatever people? There's so many sub-Mario communities. Some different designs. Okay, interesting. I'm still spin jumping. Chili. Ah, I'd do it. That would do it. Yeah, the Spanish hackers stuff you don't see too often at all. I feel like the Portuguese hackers. That for? Oh, those are switches. Ow. Playtested Sonic Mario 2 was good as fuck. Oh, nice. Yeah, I played a few. I finished putting them up for YouTube today, so that's why it comes to mind. I played a bunch of level design contest levels from Fortaleza Reznor earlier this month. And yeah, I don't see too much of their stuff. Sonic Mario World sounds like a Finnish one. I would not be shocked if the creator is Scandinavian of some sort. He's Finnish, there you go. Ooh, love the sauna over there. Cannot let go. Yeah, it's just an odd number of small hacking communities you don't just see too much of. And the FR contest levels can be really bizarre. Like the Momazos Diego one. Which is some sort of, like, Latin America SpongeBob meme about memes. Do not ask me to explain this, for there's no chance I can. There we go. Yeah, just don't look right. Want to move to the north so bad, like Norway? Where around do you live, if you don't mind me asking? Thank you for the H. Bubble. Felt like I was behind, but apparently not. LA? Oh, yes. Then Norway would be a lot further north. There are no shell jumps in this hack. So... like scary dream jaws. Yeah, they don't look... like, these swoopers look nice, but then there's these, and I don't know why they're corrupted. Wonder if it's my fault. Okay, here we go. Yeah, LA is one of those cities that I like visiting, but I don't think I'd ever want to live there. Bizarrely, I think last time... was that last time I was there? No, it was the time before. It was one time I went there, it was the one day a year it rained. It was amazing. Got to see some of the big old storm drains fill up. I don't think it is either, but it just looks weird. Gotta get the moon. Borb. Norway's probably dope. You hate winter. Then Norway probably wouldn't be ideal. I generally prefer summer to winter. One of those, if I hit the startup lottery kind of things, is where I'd probably get a house in the northern hemisphere and a house in the southern hemisphere, and just spend my time between those places. So I could always live in a nice DST sunny world. Oslo, summertime of Montreal, yes. 2 to 35. That's fair. This is definitely a me thing. Suspect some of it is growing up in the South. Gonna crash? Alright, sleep well, lizard. See you later. Dream of Norway. Or Montreal, that's also pretty far north. Speaking of, there was one part during the... You know, it occurs to me, I can burn some time there. That's exactly why there's a big old dino rhino there. To make that jump more feasible. But during the FR thing, at some point I decided just to start ragging on Canada. I don't remember why. I was doing the mild editing and doing some writing stuff that I needed to do so I could make the script work and all that. And I was like, oh yeah. And then there's the part where I just was like, yeah, no, screw Canada. Oh, they're Nintendo Switches. Oh, whoops. I finally get the joke. Took me a while. Because I kept looking at it like, there's such a weird looking dragon coin when I was watching Memory Lane play this. And of course, that's clearly not what they are now. I just saw the midway there. Need to practice me regrabs. That's what's getting me. I stood on that for half a second, didn't I? Oh, that reminds me, I need to test that out. So yesterday I kind of wanted to stream, but I also kind of didn't. I ate something that didn't agree with me. One of those, I like Thai food. I really should stop eating spicy or Thai food unless I'm going to put the effort in and go somewhere good. Because then the punishment is worth it. Things. But... I finally got the clips stuff working, I think. So we're going to take a moment and test it, because I haven't tested it completely yet. Oop. Oop. Let me see if it worked. Yeah, it looks like it worked. Good enough. But basic idea is that to make it easier for people on mobile to make clips. If they so desire. Also a chat command. I do think I want to make a couple small changes to how it's implemented in the back end. Which will be a little bit annoying, but whatever. One of those, I can definitely do that later, now that I've gotten it working and did a full test, Twitch integration test. Was testing it last night, but there's parts you can't... There's no way that's right! How is this happening? Like, I swear, I watched Memory Lane play it. It did not look like this. I wonder if... I definitely think that I have broken something with AX animation somewhere. I definitely have. This happens every once in a while. Sometimes when I need to find, like, spare space to work with, it eats into EX animation, even though it shouldn't. I've added, like, explicit... Oh, whoops. Explicit things saying don't do that. Little guards, but apparently they don't always work. And I've had this bug for a while. It's one of those I should just sit down and properly diagnose why this happens. But yeah, there's no way that the Chuck is supposed to look like the bottom half of a Bumpty is in him when he's jumping. Or whatever combo of sprites led to that situation. There we go. Why do I search in non-expanded area of the ROM? Because it just searches everywhere. It's the only answer there is. Thought it was a red porcupine? No, there's no way. I think this is supposed to be a spiny, judging by how it's behaving. Like, that's clearly could be a spiny. I thought we saw spinies earlier that didn't have these problems, so... Honestly, I thought I needed the football man, but I guess not. It's one of those things that happens so very Wait. It's one of those things that happens so very rarely that I have not bothered going about and fixing. So I think I changed it to... My strategy was generally to use the largest area of zeros I could find. So I don't know why it ended up eating into the X animation stuff, because while that is a bunch of zeros, for whatever reason it needs a ridiculous number of zeros for the X animation to work. Don't ask me, ask Fuso, yeah? Saw Memory Lane do it. Figured I had to try. Yeah, initially I thought the switches were Dragon Coins because of how Memory Lane wasn't collecting all of them. But I now realize how little sense that makes. I am checking for rats. At least I thought I was. It's one of those, I looked at the code and changed how it worked a while ago, and I don't remember if I actually fixed the problem. Well, clearly I haven't actually fixed the problem. It's also one of those I'm an incredibly lazy man things and will forget about it for a while. With someone else's hack, I'd probably restart and deattach the gamma stuff, but I think Firstnamebutt would mind it being a little, like, oddly corrupted. It's the kind of person I think would appreciate that. Thought about getting back into Lunar Magic, procrastinated for a while, and just saw it looked like Walking Fire graphics go wild. Yeah. That they do. Why did I comment that out? Because it broke something else. It's one of the problems having a multi-year code base that's all based off of mostly crap. That's slowly grown over time. If I don't do something else tomorrow, maybe I'll do that. Try to figure out why it's broken in this level specifically, because that would be easy to test against. Nah, Flipper. Flipper in BG2. Why Flipper? Flipper never got a game. And I'm not going to start watching, like, old black and white, sitcom? Is that what you call Flipper? Flipper, Flipper, faster than lightning. Made a reference to Mr. Ed the other day. It's one of those two animal-based TV shows I could think of. You gonna figure out what's gone wrong with the EX animation manually? Oof, I don't know why I always think it'll work. Flipper is the Swedish word for pinball. Yes. I'll message you afterwards, but it would be, like, starting that around, like, 2 my time? Maybe a little bit earlier. Be a good reason for me to wake up a little bit earlier, to be honest. But I'd have to go and check. It does make sense, though, as a name. What you do with pinball is you flipper. Or there's like a bad wife joke there. Flipper, I hardly knew her. That level was challenging for me. Borb. I forgot to say Borb. Sorry, Borb. ZWIRBELSPRUNG. Oh, what that means. Oh. Okay, you can stand on these. So far, I understand. Oh boy, fire surfing. Oops. Trying to read ROM. Can you read ROM? I don't know what it'll do. It's been a while since I've looked at the behavior. You might be able to get it to read ROM, but it would not be mapped ROM. You need to be reading it linearly. And of course, it won't let you access the obvious pages, because it does some remapping. Yeah, you have to read it linearly, because that's the way it's laid out there in the SD to SNES world. Because I think there's a fall through at the very bottom. Or maybe I don't let you guys have the fall through anymore. Yeah, I think I might just try to interpret everything you guys throw at it as a memory address. A WRAM address, because of assuming you guys would want memory addresses. Or SRAM addresses. WRAM addresses, I mean. It's probably a Mario World behavior as opposed to a writable game behavior, so I could lower it to that if you really wanted to see that, but then I have to reattach, which, as demonstrated last time, didn't go so hot. Oh. There we go. With the switch. Do not chill. Just barely. But yeah, I think I might stream around then regardless. Just Baldur's Gate is on the list. And since it's a lengthy thing and I have time tomorrow, I could do it. Why do I go for 2 jumps? I don't need 2 jumps there. I know it, you know it, the American people know it. There we go. Much better. This reminds me of partway through this Australian... just smash people who try to do other stuff, like variety YouTube stuff. And one of them just starts busting out like a Reagan impression partway through, and you're like, wow. He wasn't even alive when Reagan was president. Dang it. But it was a surprisingly good Reagan impression. Do not remember why he suddenly started doing that, though. I think it was in their, like, degenerate version of Family Feud. Or, not Family Feud, Price is Right. Which was admittedly actually pretty good, except Jackson won everything. Which was hilarious, but terrible for the other 3 players. And of course, there was the prize he didn't want to win. He did not want the Pyra Mithra body pillow. He managed to avoid winning that, and instead got a marshmallow. Which he was pretty excited about, all things considered. There we go. H'd. Bonk. Somewhere in my mind, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe spin jump. Now we spin jumping. Now, couldn't I have opted to take the spiny instead? If I wanted a slower ride? Like, I don't see any reason why I would have to take the flame there. With the way this was designed, which is a little bit odd to me. I'm gonna skip that first one. I'm just skip it. What else is new? Oh, not too much. You get that really good score on James Bond at the local on Friday. Or not, Wednesday, actually. Yeah, it's been a whole week almost. I'm curious if it held up, because it was still up on the top of the list on Friday. Because I came in second. It was the first time I'd ever hit 007 mode on that machine, because I just cannot hit the ramp shot. Loop shot? It's a weird object. Oh, what's up, Chase? How you doing? Was lurking in your chat earlier. I'm surprised to see the Wacky Worlds demo was a lot better than I was expecting. Why do I keep spin jumping? Last time I moderated something by the guy who made the same thing, it was a arduous and confusing experience. But yeah, I can never quite hit the henchman. It's not really a ramp, it's this weird three-way metal piece. It's incredibly hard to describe, because I don't really encounter these things in pinball aside from on 007. But this is a fancy 007, so it's got like the articulated rocket with the ramp that goes up the rocket and all that. So it's a better experience than some of the other ones. Can't believe that didn't kill me. There's a lot of leniency in this hack. Okay. Throw, hit. There we go. Borb. Wasn't bad. Level design needs some work. Yeah. Give the demo a 6.5 out of 10. Seems reasonable. Yeah, the last thing I played by that, was it Fugui or whatever his name was the Sonic CD port thing he did, which had problems and was confusing. Like, quite literally, there was no identification that the signs were doors, and so I only could play part of it. I'm like, oh, levels just end. That's weird. But no, there was still a lot there. Just this wasn't communicated to the user in any way, shape, or form. Well, oh, no. You can make it. I can't make it. There were a lot of text messages that were in the game that came by default. A lot of cutoff. Just all sorts of weird stuff. One of those was hard to tell if it was me or him. I do believe he speaks a different language natively than English, so it's not always possible to communicate completely. I think Eldad ran into the same major issues. Stuff not communicated in a message box. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, not small things either, like absolutely critical things you need to know. Nope. Because without knowing that hack was completely and utterly unplayable. Well, it wasn't completely and utterly unplayable, but like, you couldn't do anything smart to beat that game. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Oh, nuts. I just fell off. B. Nuts. Doing alright? What about me? Doing pretty good. Pick up the phone! What's up? My god, that was such flash fodder for such a long time. Yeah, I do pretty good. Didn't accomplish a lot today. Got some YouTube stuff squared. Did a few other things. Did some light reading. Still contemplating whether or not what I'm going to do tomorrow. Was supposed to play Rem with Snyder. Didn't yesterday because I was very hungover. Not even going to try to dress that one up. Me and Fistbit went to a drinking event, and as sort of per usual with these things, eventually they stopped caring about drink tickets fairly early in the event. And And so we got to try a lot of very tasty spirit. But the downside, of course, is the day thereafter. Probably didn't help that I went and drank some beer and played pinball afterwards. Brazil might be Portuguese. I could believe it. But yeah, doing good today. I was going to play Run with Snyder, but he's sick. So, sounds like he's coming down with a cold or something. He had some bed rest. That, or he has hungover too. Except Tuesday. But who knows? Any spirits are drink? So this was an event called Proof, which stands for something that I don't remember. But basically it is local distilleries that make different kinds of things. And when I say local, I mean the greater Washington area. So mostly stuff you probably wouldn't be able to find wherever you are. I'm about to pass out. All right. Well, sleep well. See you next time, Chase. That was a really good rye. Westland had some good stuff. They let us know that there was going to be a very tasty handfill coming up soonish. 2 handfills in the future. Those are usually worth going to Westland for. The event was also held right next door to Westland Distillery, which made it, you know, convenient. Oh no. One day you might be on that area. Fair enough. At that point, you just need to ask me again. But yeah. There was some good stuff. There was some weird stuff. There was one Fistbit pot. 4? 6 of a bottle, I forget. Because it was tax-free. Because it's a charity event. Because that makes sense. Don't ask me why that makes sense. Just Washington law. But liquor taxes in Washington are very high. And so coming across an event like that is oftentimes a good time to stock up on things that you would have wanted to drink anyway. If they have them there. So yeah, I found a couple new things. I guess Distillarium was a big hit with us. They had a lot of tasty things. And had pictures of horses on their bottles for some reason. Probably Spanish. Yeah, Fuguidas, thank you. Yeah, heuristically it's difficult for most people to tell Portuguese and Spanish apart. I know there's ways to do it if you know one or the other, but not knowing either of them, I can't. Like, I know Desi can tell them apart and can just, you know... This is just all regrabbing. Yeah, sleep well. Weird like Malort. Is there anything like that categorically bad? There was a guy who was making, and it was his term, a forest liqueur. It was an odd duck. I'd have to look. I didn't get any of the really weird stuff. My taking was a couple of bottles from Distillarium of a couple of their rye stuff. I did it with 4 bottles. What else did I get? Oh, I did it with 5 bottles. There's a company over in Bainbridge Island, I want to say, that makes a really good blackberry liqueur. And I was running out, and they also had the raspberry there, so like I just got those 2. And then finally, I got the Ula Gin that was disconcertingly pink. It's quite good. I don't think it was barrel-aged either, and that's usually a sticking point for Riskbit. He does not like gin as a general category unless it's been barrel-aged. So finding a non-barrel-aged gin that he likes is quite a surprise. Dang it. Good Look is kind of hard to find. I mean, Good Look can be not that hard to find if you're willing to pay for it, but it very much depends. Very much depends. That's often tastes like garbage or really expensive. Yeah, those are the problems. Good and cheap are not easy in that world. Westland used to be good and cheap, but they got acquired, I think, by Remy, and things happened. Like, their handfuls were $45 for a half, and that was more than reasonable. And did the audio drop out of the right side for you guys too, or is that just me? Oh, liqueur, yes. I'm testing a new setup thing, Matt. So something's a little bit weird. What audio? Maybe, yeah. That's always a good sign. Let's exit the level and see if it's still doing that. Yeah, it's definitely a setup issue. Give me a sec. You know what? I'm gonna have a stand-up break anyway. If I'm gonna have to mess with the setup and test things, it's gonna be easier if I can do this without the mic muted. So I'm gonna fix it up real quick, hopefully. Be right back. I ended up losing the remote for a bit after I went and fixed it, so it took a lot longer than expected. Let's resume. Yes, indeed it is a FNB. I'm not sure why the audio did that. I had to go and reconnect a bunch of stuff. It just kind of fell out when nothing happened at the other end of the room. I thought maybe I'd pulled on the USB cable, but apparently not. The Switch logo? Yeah, I think it's a funny gimmick. FMD's currently fart. Is it literally Super Fart World? Because that's a surprisingly well-made hack for what it is. The downside is, you know, it's all about farts. Which, if you don't care about it, if you don't care for farts, you won't enjoy. I maintain that Nintendo stole some tech from that hack. In part because I think it's funny. But yeah, I'm testing a new audio setup, Matt, so I've actually got earbuds in, a la Juz. And I have rigged it up so there is a mixer between me and the receiver, so that I can hear TTS messages or things that I need to hear that are on my laptop. And this is sort of experimental. I just kind of put it all together today, and that required actually fixing up a decent amount of cable mess on one side of things, which did in fact result in having issues with one of the sides of audio earlier. And I thought I'd fixed it, but apparently it somehow unfixed itself earlier, or later, which is weird. So just target audience is the problem. So here's the thing, is my understanding is that it's actually a fairly well-received hack in terms of mechanics and interesting ideas. There's even a tribute to it in Ultra Kaizo World 2, Aerobam's hack. And I think there were even some people who were thinking about submitting it to GGQ if there could be a less buttful version. That's the first I've gotten so far. Which I don't think ever ended up happening. Just a little bit of weird inside baseball. Keep doing not too much there. But yeah, I think this setup is gonna work. There's still a little bit of fuzz, and I'm trying to find like the best place to put it, because it still produces its own cable mess, because again, it's attaching 4 cables to this thing here in order to make it work. It needs the power cable, which is USB, so it's not too bad, but it does result in some noise depending upon which place I put it in. So there's a little bit of fuzz, but it's not bad if there's some actual like audio going. Which is to say, I'll see how much this annoys me when I'm playing Baldur's Gate, but we'll see. No! I missed the moon. Ah, whatever. I got Borb. I'll take it. Learned to have yet another tabletop RPG, this one from Finland called Tahi. Play as a Teenage Mutant Taoist girls band. That's pretty funny. DualSense is a nice controller. Oh, I bet. It's kind of a dating game. The resolution mechanic is based on fortune cookies. That sounds insane. I love it. This level is dedicated to my Nana. She brought me my first system. It was a SNES with SMW all the way back in 1994. E. Probably an intentional E. Intentional. Playing Smash with a few runs earlier. Nice. Oh, Smash is so much fun. One of those games you don't have to be good at to still have fun. Well, at least 30. We don't actually know. Switching Twitch Pro-Con. First time in a while felt so weird. Huh. I mean, I'm a GameCube controller myself kind of person. And I'm thankful that that became that was somehow an option with the Switch. Oh, it is, because I have the adapter. I pre-ordered Smash 4, so I have one of those USB adapters. The 4-player ones. Okay, what am I doing with this object? Throwing it here. Oh, it should have worked. I am a GameCube controller, yes. A shrimp indeed fried this rice. I am also just a coffee shop. We're gonna throw out a few more of those. Nope. Switch Pro is so much lighter than DualSense. DualSense so much heavier than just about everything other controller. Interesting. Ron, heck, dedicate your father. Got your father play some Kaizo in the first Mario Maker. Well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, my dad has not been a gamer probably since the 90s. But he used to be pretty decent. He beat Xenon 2 Mega Blast, which is no small feat. If you've ever seen that game, that is not an easy game. It also has what is apparently the most disappointing ending of any video game of all time, which is kind of amazing, really. Literally just the Good saying, "Nerd, go home." Every Finnish game seems to be based on playing mutants. Every Finnish game seems to be based on playing mutants. Interesting. Someone translate Gamma World into Finnish? You know, I was about to try and hit that and then realized, no, I really shouldn't. Okay. I saw how this worked. Dang it. The Kashi's challenge. Oops. I could play that. I know roughly how to beat it. I don't want to have to play it though. A video game for people who hate playing video games. In terms of bad endings, though, is it? Yeah, I don't know if that's his fault or mine. There have been some graphic issues. It's a very high chance it's my fault. But I also figured Firstnamebutt wouldn't care that much. So I haven't reset it. And removed all of the Mario tracking stuff that happens. But no, seriously, go look up the ending to Xenon 2 Mega Blast. It is atrociously bad. The game itself is a lot of fun if you hate your keyboard. But really, you should be playing with like a turbo controller on an Amiga CD or something, as opposed to playing it in DOS, which is how we played it back in the day, because we had the DOS version. Didn't think that one through. Hiroshima was one of the most popular tabletops in Poland? Huh. How do they measure that kind of stuff? Like, most games I have to assume are private. Mario tracking stuff? All of, like, the stuff where I die, it tracks the positions and the level tracking, and just all of the stuff that, like, character change. There's a lot of stuff that relies upon other bits. And I'm corrupting somewhere in EX graphics land, and I need to stop doing that. Sales reviews, reading Reddit isn't totally trustworthy. Man, there's probably an article you'd be interested in about Japanese postcard RPGs. But basically, like, you would send in a postcard explaining what your character was going to do for, like, the entire turn. And then they'd send you back a postcard explaining what happened. I'm gonna get this one, though. You get to live, mole! Enjoy your house! Your 6-tile house! Orb. Yeah, apparently they were quite popular. How do I spell which game? Oh, Xenon 2 Mega Blast. Let me just Moby Games. Thank you for the G. Here, this is the game that I'm talking about. My dad played back in the day. We didn't play the Amiga version, obviously. We played the DOS version. But yeah, it's not easy. It's a shoot 'em up, and you can upgrade your ship over time. That's the thing I really liked. You can upgrade your ship. Also, that's a butt, not balls. Despite how much it looks like a pair of balls screaming, it's clearly a butt. Invictus music. Heard of that? Yeah, it's really good. What I find interesting is I think it's one of the very first games that used an actual music track, as opposed to composing, you know, some beeps and boops. I don't know. The reason it's called Mega Blast is because there's a track made by a specific DJ whose name unfortunately escapes. Oh, Bomb the Bass. They got that song and put it in. That's why it's called Mega Blast. Firstnamebutt for a reason. I assumed it was because he liked to be manifest as a pair of balls. It just made sense to me. For this version of Hooded Edges. I don't know which came first, but this is the, you know, classic Mario Kana kind of thing. But yeah, it's really interesting to go see all of the different ports of that one song. There's only one song in the whole game, by the way. It's a pretty good song if you like that style of music, which I thought even the PC speaker version was pretty awesome back when I was a kid. And I still kind of do. One of those, I would legitimately play it on stream, except, you know what it would sound like? Oh, I guess I should leave on the music so it's not terrible. Here's what it would sound like. Because you just have to mash the keyboard when you're playing that to shoot down all the enemies. You don't get cash unless you kill entire groups. So the more you know. But like we could like me and my siblings could definitely complete the first few levels perfectly, like get all the cash. But after level 3, it usually fell apart. And you have interesting choices about what you can do. And there's also, of course, backtracking in that level, which is mean. There we go, H. I like Hillman Arcade, yeah. Yeah, my mom didn't like us playing that because she thought she'd need to buy new keyboards. Pretty sure she was right. Chicken came first, Salmon Max thought of that. Ah. Poser's version came first, okay. Yeah, also TIE Fighter. We used to play TIE Fighter with a mouse and keyboard. You have to play it with a keyboard. There's no way around it. It's just that complicated. You need all of the keys. And we managed to break at least 2 or 3 mice doing this. Because in order to dogfight, you'd be able to do some pretty steep turns. The only way to do steep turns on a mouse was basically to make the ball spin freely. Yeah, so basically we would rev that sucker up. You could hear the ball spinning. That's not usually the case with ball mice. After the first couple of these, she said no more TIE Fighter until you guys pool together and buy yourselves a joystick. Oh yeah, buttons absolutely do weaken over time. And this was probably a more proper keyboard. This was a DOS machine from a reasonable era. Is that one of the leading edge computers? I don't think it was. I think leading edge was the 8086. This was the 286. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that was the 286. Did we run TIE Fighter on the 286? That doesn't feel right. Always hard to keep track of these sorts of memories. I don't think it ran on 286. Must have been a later computer. But yeah, really good game. Oh. Sometimes levels are just a bit easier. Oh, Borb. Every once in a while I think about trying to play... Oh. TIE Fighter on streams, I think it'd be fun. But my setup does not allow for it at all. Like, I need a proper place to put down a joystick. And my couch is not that. Gamepad's fine. Joysticks, no. Plus, I'm not really sure it'd be like a, reasonable thing to do. It'd be cool to do for like May the 4th. I missed May the 4th last year. I like doing silly theme days. That's really the long story short. And May the 4th is a decent one. Just any sort of Star Wars game. But since I was out on the East Coast, I was looking through my things that would work on a Mac, and I'm like, I got nothing. Another SOR song. This is a groovy track. But what does SOR stand for? Secret of... Revermore? There we go. Streets of Rage. That makes way more sense. This level's called Streets of Kaizo, and that makes a lot of sense. You know what this background reminds me of? Vob Father World. Wonder whatever happened to Dan in most trades. Because I know he was working on a Rob Father World 2 for a long time. I don't know. Don't know if he lost interest or died or whatever. If I had to do a third one of those, I was hosed. That's not how Jump works. Streets of Rage, there's amazing music. I believe it. Is Streets of Rage the one where you've got the... Is it Mike Hager? The mayor slash pro wrestler guy who's based on a real person? Who later turned out to become mayor at in some like Wisconsin or something? It's a Capcom game, right? So I think the guy I'm thinking of is definitely in Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, I suspect that's completely free, and I'm overthinking it. Try this again. That's completely free, and I'm overthinking it. Wait, why did I lose momentum? Oh, the one-way gate. Whoops. Oh, wait. So free. Oh, there's... That makes everything make a lot more sense. So much more sense. Oh. It's a Genesis game, not sure about its lore. Okay. That sounded right to me. Been watching a lot of, like, Game Hut videos recently just because I've been bored. And he was a Genesis Amiga guy. Has some fun war stories. Typically about how specific things were done on the Genesis and or Saturn. Because he worked on Sonic Racing. And Sonic 3D Blast. All of the ports of that one. He knows a lot of game dev tricks. Wikipedia, it centers on the efforts of several ex-police vigilantes to rid the fictional American metropolis of Wood Oak City A crime syndicate that's been corrupted by its local governments. Huh. Maybe I have to look up Mike Hagar now, because I'm trying to remember what game series he's from. Thought it was Streets of Rage. Final Fight. Yes, I was confused. That is the wrong one. Absolutely the wrong one. There are a lot of side-scrolling beat-em-ups. It's easy to get some confused. Hype entrances are bugging me. I feel like they must be intentional. Bit too familiar? Yeah. My next trick... I'm gonna wander right into the spiny. Right into the muncher. I don't really play side-scrolling beat-em-ups too much anymore. A few arcades nearby have some of them. There's one I know that's got Turtles. One's got Simpsons. There's one that's got that 6-player X-Men game where Magneto says, "X-Men, welcome to die!" And of course, there's a few Neo Geo cabinets here and there, so you can get your Metal Slug on if you need to. Or what I tend to do when I see a Neo Geo cabinet and still want to play it, is play a little bit of Puzzle Bobble. Bust a Groove. Turtles and X-Men are the ones you've played. There's so many. They were incredibly popular for a time. It's interesting to see sort of how faddish game development can be. Something arena shooters. Or not even arena shooters, what do they call them? The class-based ones now, I suppose. Like TF2, but worse. Like Valorant, I think, is one of those. I'm not entirely sure anymore. I mean, even before there were a few, like Tribes definitely kind of was, even if you weren't playing like strict classes. Tribes 1, Tribes 2, there was Tribes Ascend, which they got greedy and kind of screwed up their business model and it didn't end up sticking around. But yeah, Tribes 2 was apparently one of those magical, you had to be there experiences. I don't feel I'm doing this section right. So here's the thing I need to remember, is basically there are no complicated regrabs. There's only easy regrabs, and so if a regrab feels difficult in this, it's probably because you don't need to regrab. I think I tried playing Tribes Ascend once, but I didn't get into it because I didn't have the right setup for it at the time. I was like, I need a place to use the mouse, and I didn't have a good place to use the mouse at that point in time. Hawk, another good one, Mecha. I mean, the only one I'm looking at right now that I'm interested in, might be interested in playing, was that cat one that comes from Poland. Because it has cats. And I think that's funny. Saw it at PAX, and I still think it's funny. I need to stop doing that. I need to milk that, or is it gonna work out with how fast it moves? See, look at that. I regrabbed over the Koopa. What else? Hawken died, became PS3 only. There's Hawken Reborn on Steam, but has mostly negative reviews. Ew. I mean, the thing about those sorts of games, too, is you either need, like, there to be the service there to do the matchmaking, or you need like really good community servers. TF2 at least used to have really good community servers. Not so much anymore, which is one of the reasons why I don't play too much TF2 anymore. Not that interested in their matchmaking bullshit. Too many people want to go, like, do their contracts for the week or whatever, and I just want to play some TF2. I want to drop into a 2-fort match, derp around for, you know, half an hour, and move along with my life. One of my favorite stupid things to do on 2-fort, actually, go spy and go cloak and dagger, and spend as much time as you can just annoying engineers. Not being effective. You're playing 2-fort. No one's being effective. There's 4 snipers on various parts of the team. There's probably a couple engineers who've set up in the central intelligence area. Like, no one's actually playing the game. But basically just run around spamming voice clips and stuff and see how long it takes them to try and chase you. And just, you know, shoot their equipment once or twice every once in a while. Don't have to do a lot of work. Just have to be annoying enough that someone wants to come and prevent you from having fun. At which point, you know, you can go do whatever you want because you've roamed off somewhere else. I'd found a lot of good hiding spots on TF2 on 2-fort. Some really convenient ones where no one ever checks. What's the other one? There was another level I liked to play. It was the, it wasn't Egypt, I forget what it was, but it was a very Egyptian-themed, 1-point CTF, or 1-point capture, 1 capture point map. Hey look, I managed to stand on it. But there was a horror version. It's the one where they had binoculars. Dang it. And there was a spot in the middle where there was a full health pack. And so people would frequently be running to go get the full health pack, because, you know, you get hit in TF2, you want to get your health pack. And what I would do is just go cloak and dagger spy and gently push against them as they were getting onto the spot with the health pack. And they would fall into the floor and go through the hell tunnel and then die. And of course, they'd be mad upon respawning, but your cloak and dagger spy, just be somewhere else for a little bit. Set up again right where you were. Watch as it happens again. It'd be absolutely infuriating. But, you know, it's TF2. No one's taking it all that seriously, especially a Halloween map. Come on. Interesting, Hawken has a fan revival called Hawkening. Recently open servers at beta launch. Nice. Every once in a while, I'm like tempted to go back and look at one of those like fan server type games. Like I used to love, well, for the brief period of time when City of Heroes had like an open beta or something. It's an open beta when they released City of Villains that I played a fair bit of. Not to actually play the MMO, but just to wander around. They got a really good map. There we go. Orb. There were achievements for finding all the various little spots in the city, and that was just fun to run around in. Wouldn't mind doing it again, but the whole thing's a little sketchier now. Not sure if I like the fact this is a water level. A challenge appears! I believe in you, Super Gamer! As long as I don't have to do motor skills. Like, I want to say, like, WoW servers have been doing pretty well in that domain. I want to say, maybe, no, maybe Friday was on the, like, official WoW Classic server then, because that's a different thing. What was I trying to accomplish there? I am legitimately confuzzled. Ah, that's what I was doing. I was just waiting around to see something cool would happen. Oh god, I wasn't ready for that. Cool. Go. Ah, I got held up on him. Yeah, too many games I'd like to start. I need to actually finish some. Or start other ones. Basically, I was going to mention Squiggles before this, and I'd been indecisive if I could give him a choice of either PC or Saturn, because there's 2 Halloween games I still want to play this year. And I definitely might take some Halloween-y nonsense out into November. Oh, whoops, too late. But Gabriel Knight 3 is high on my list, and Lunacy, which is the ultimate game in the Mansion of Hidden Souls franchise. At least so saith Moby Games. Not sure how reliable this is as a bit of truth, but apparently there are butterflies, and that does matter. It was a multi-disc Saturn game. It's a little bit weird. One bounce too late. See the Lunacy? Alright, well, knowing that's in the knowing that there's demand for that, might do that sooner than later. Imagine, though, that's because it's a wacky Saturn game. Which is not a bad reason to pick it, let's be honest. You should stream Gregory Horror Show? Oh, go for it. It is a very interesting game. You get to find out all about Roulette Boy. Everybody loves Roulette Boy. Hurry up and spin me! Etc. Oh. Now that archive.org is up again, it's a lot easier to find such objects, by the way. It's still up in a read-only mode, so I was like, I wanted to log in as my user and do something. Oh, I was late. But it's back up, at least in the useful forms of being able to archive web pages and also look at their old supply of software. It's up enough that I'll say it's alive. It's not completely alive, because they've still got some other cleaning stuff to do, but like the collections are back up. The Wayback Machine is up. The Stuff That Archives stuff is up. So it's fairly up as far as most people would be concerned. I had another thing I wanted to do. One of the things I want to do, I do not think is going to happen, because nobody voted for it, and my interest is not high enough to spend a lot of time debugging Sound Blaster 16 issues, was I found a adver game based upon Haribo gummy things, which does sound pretty cool, but I was not having a lot of luck with Sound Blaster 16 nonsense. My suspicion is computer's too fast. And so while I could get it to work in their setup program, I could not get sound to work in their actual gameplay. And the game is voiced and has music. So I kind of want those. I was too indecisive. Make it act slower? I mean, yeah, that's an option. I didn't spend a lot of time messing with it. So here's the thing about Sound Blaster 16 nonsense. The way you initialize a Sound Blaster 16 card is by turning it off and turning it back on again after a certain amount of time. I think it's like 57 milliseconds or something. The problem is you need to know how long 57 milliseconds is. And so if it's not slow enough, it doesn't work. And honestly, I've not had a lot of luck trying that kind of like most slow kind of thing with Sierra games, to a point where I kind of just stopped trying. I guess I never tried it. Simply count your milliseconds. So that's the problem, okay? So there is a way to accurately count time on a DOS machine, but very few people did it because there were very few different SKUs of processor back then. So typically what they did was they ran busy loops of a fixed amount of length and called it a day. Problem? That doesn't work on a moderner machine. And so you either have to patch it manually, which there are some fixed up Sound Blaster 16 libraries for Sierra games. Sierra games were surprisingly, well, they're not that surprisingly modular. And so, like, the display drivers and sound drivers were very distinct. And you could actually swap them out. So you could swap out a later sound driver, and there's a good chance it would work with an earlier game. In fact, I saw this recently. Space Quest Historian was playing... Oh. Thank you for the raid. I'll wait for a second. But basically playing Space Quest games with terrible character-based graphics drivers, which was pretty funny to watch. I didn't watch too much. I'm always spoiled on Space Quest again. So, right. Take a handbrake. Take a drink break. But yeah, I spent a bit of time playing with it. I also had problems getting the game to install in English. It kept installing in French until I realized I could install it in French and not run the English one instead. It was silly. But thank you for the raid, TD Warrior. How you doing? Hope you had fun doing, I assume, rhythm gaming or whatever else you were up to. We are presently Kaizoing in the name of butt. Actually, that wouldn't. Actually, Kaizoing in the key of butt would actually be a pretty good ROM hack title for Firstnamebutt to use. Kaizoing in the name of butt would also be fine. Hope you're doing. I'm doing good. How are you? Thank you for the raid. Oh, right. I can do this. I'm not doing either. I'm just playing. Today was a playing day. I played an ancient hack that I moderated forever ago called Lesbian Killer World 5000. I probably transposed some of the words there, but that's more or less what it is. Oh, whoops. Eldad recently went on a tear playing a bunch of old standard, well, low-rated standard stuff. And it was a bit depressing to see that all of the ones that were rated 1 out of 5 on SWW Central were ones I had accepted. And yeah, so I wanted to play that one again and just be like, no, this is not bad. And it isn't. It's not what you hope it to be, given a title like that. It's no Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. But it's a perfectly cromulent little standard hack. It's not bad. It's just not the game you wanted. It's quite the title, yes. The title is cooler than the game, 100%. But I maintain it is not a 1 out of 5. And that, at least in modern times, we just don't accept 1s out of 5. I think something's got to be seriously wrong to really call it a 1 out of 5. And we're talking standard, like... An awful lot of standard is very samey. I will not begin to deny that. Alright, what? Oh, right. But still, it wasn't that bad. Oh, it's totally a shitpost out. But anyway, then afterwards, I'm like, you know what? I'm in a Kaizo mood. I recently saw Memory Lane speedrunning this, and I'm like, you know what? It looks fun. It doesn't look that hard, because I'm just not that good at Kaizo. So I figured I'd give it a shot. That was not the right type of jump. But yeah, just something else to do. Haven't done something like that in a while. Played Moo World. Ah, that. Not that long ago. I messed up. I see what I need to do now. UFO 50 between Sound Voltexen. Been fun game grind. Nice. Yeah, I've definitely been converted to being a gamer who likes some of those rhythm games. Seeing Waka at GDQ was a treat. I don't remember which version of Waka it was, because there's several apparently. Dang it. But it was fun. Also, I shouldn't have played it, because I definitely hurt my wrist or something. But it was one of those, when am I going to get another chance to play Brainpower on this thing? Because I swear to God, playing Brainpower on the thing is so much fun. Oh, oops. Yeah, there's one in Seattle I've been meaning to go and see if it's any good, but it's in Renton, which is a pain in the butt to get to. But there's an arcade down there I should go to. I was talking to a dude about Godzilla, and he mentioned they had the black and white 70th edition Godzilla down there, and I was very tempted. If it wasn't for the fact that it was all the way in Renton. But yeah, there's like a big... Let's go like round 1 or something. There's like a big franchise arcade down there that does anime stuff and whatnot, so they have a lot of rhythm games. So I've been meaning to check it out just as my, like, touring Seattle, going to most of the pinball venues that I can find. Thing that I did this summer. Nowadays, I just stick to, like, the normal 2 or 3. Those one in Ballad I've grown to like a bit more. Decent prices. Decent beer. Close to something else I have to do on a weekly basis, more or less. Round 1 has a more popular Japanese... Yeah, exactly. Said you go to AGDQ to hit us some of their niche ones, like Jubeat again? Huh. Bonami, Benma... Yeah. I don't know enough about that to say anything, other than it looks fun. And I'll probably try to go during school hours so I can avoid children's. Hogging all the games. It's like going to the barcade on a Thursday instead of Saturday. It is usually a better experience. Not nearly as crowded, not nearly as hot. Not always good. You know, sometimes you run into fun people, but still. I need to get a lighter coat before I do a lot more of that. I got a nice coat, because my other coat got borrowed without repercussion might be a nice way of phrasing it. I don't know about this thing. Woo, indeed. Oh, Borb. Oh, sorry, I gotta hit up on Sundays due to work. Usually there's never much of a crowd in the 90 yards. Oh, nice! Those bastards, indeed. Borrow my baseball. No, I'm good. I'm good. Alright, a sweet adventure. Look in the mirror and see you might just see an epic gamer! GG, with Kaizo love. Yeah, that was it. That was Sweet World. It was also pretty sweet. I enjoyed that. We get credits or something? Sweet! Super credits. Sweet World. A hack by Firstnamebutt. So here's the thing. I always hate when credits are done this way, because people never stagger them right. You can only read things as they come on screen, and if it's too long, it's difficult. Built in the Flux Base ROM by SJ and Charlie the Cat. Like, you need to stagger those sentences. Something else, yes. Can you send me a link to that? I will do that, forthwith. Stuff by Do the Fourth, and Kevin, and Mandu, and Hammerbro, and Nuasu, Brutalpode, and Norakun, and Borgiman, and Moose, and more people whose names I've missed. Bracky, and SJ, and Charlie the Cat. There we go. I think that's the right way to set Mario up for the rest of this. Thank Cookie for the overworld. Hockey? See, that was right. You could read that. Music by Aron, Millen, Philip Dipsy, Wheat Noodle, Brick Block, Samantha, Nanako, Moose, Hazel, Wakana. I didn't know Hazel did porting. No other DDoS? Nope. I don't think that there was ever an explanation posted. Like, it just happened. Even from our side, we don't know. Oh, testers, Bracky, Jordan, Jerkoon, Sapphoros, someone I missed. Naidoodle, Floor, Aisha, what, Howluta, Someone the Wicked, Blue, Bleep Bloop, Purgatory, Slayer Show, SHR the Cat, Something Music, Hentai Cayman, at least I know that one. Prestonator, Cookie, Cocky, Cookie, I'm not sure. At least we got jams. Danke. Dear Fjord Spilden. I'm gonna assume this means thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. I hope it was fun. Wait, why did the level end? There was more. There was clearly more at the end. Did it turn on like side exit? Do I want to sit through the whole thing again to see what that said? It clearly was going to say something. Ah. That's what I get for not flying around during the thing instead of putting Mario in a funny position. It makes sense to have a side exit so you don't trap people in the level, but still. Gotta credit again. For lazy people, you shouldn't just turn that on. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe nice. No, trap them. Trap them is fine too. Players deserved it. I mean, once the game's over, you're not gonna go back and play another level, really, you know? Just how it be. Bump. Whee! I'm just having fun jumping up and down. Yeah. Some thought I had earlier I was gonna finish, but I don't remember what it was. Unless it's the practice speed. Ah, that's true. That is true, I suppose. Sometimes after going... Well, usually they don't require you to go through the whole credits level if you're speedrunning it, right? Like, sometimes you have to get the exit numbers, but this one, clearly you don't. I missed Suak last time. I don't know how to turn around. Oh, yeah. I did that. That was pretty cool. No, you gotta hold on to B and press Y. No. I need to start being careful. I guess that doesn't work either, huh? I have no idea how that works. Some claustrophobia. Well, you might have caught me time enough. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, there we go. You are sweet. There we go. We got the final message. As Mario contemplates jumping off a cliff. Anyway, that was fun. It was a good Kaizo hack. I like shorter Kaizo hacks. I like shorter hacks in general. It's just nice to be able to beat something in one sitting as opposed to, like, I need to spend 10 plus streams beating it. And those are not balls. That's a butt. Just want to point that out one more time.